Today, I'm going to show you 10 cinematic shots you can capture with the DJI Pocket 3 for epic footage, no matter your location. Let's jump right in. Hey everyone, welcome to Cheney Memorial Tower, also known locally as the Pencil in beautiful Northern Ireland. Today, I'm going to show you 10 different types of shots you can capture with the DJI Pocket 3 to help you create more varied, unique and interesting video sequences. These shots are nice and easy and perfect for beginners, but can deliver professional results. In this video, I will guide you through each one step by step, showing examples of me capturing them and the movements you need to make. So let's get started and take a look at shot number 1, the push forward. Let's start simple with a movement that is super easy to do, but always looks incredible. This technique lets you start with a wide shot of your landscape and then gradually draw attention closer to the subject. To do this, you simply want to start a few steps back from the subject you want to capture and point the Pocket 3 at it, making sure your subject is centered in the frame. Now, if you struggle to know where the center of your frame is, then I highly recommend turning on grid lines to help. To do this, swipe down from the top of the Pocket 3 screen to bring up the control menu and then select the settings icon. In the next menu, you want to scroll all the way down until you see the reference line setting, and then select the grid option to turn it on. Now, when you go back to the home screen, you will see this grid superimposed on the image, and this makes it so much easier to know where the center of your frame is, meaning you can make sure your subjects are always perfectly aligned. Now, with your subject centered, hit record and lock off the camera by pressing and holding the joystick. This will prevent the camera drifting off center as you push forward. Now, all you have to do is walk forward in relation to your subject to get this professional looking shot. Remember, you can also do the exact same process but walk backwards away from your subject to achieve a pull back shot. Now, when you're putting these clips together to create your finished Pocket 3 sequences, something that can massively impact how they feel as you watch them is music. Just take a look at these two sequences. As you can see, although the footage is identical, the music makes them feel completely different. Therefore, it's crucial when selecting a track that you find one that matches the desired mood you are going for. And that is why I love the Epidemic Sound platform, who are also the sponsor of today's video. In their platform, they have a range of different moods you can choose from, such as happy, dreamy, epic and more. And when you click into these, there are hundreds of high quality, royalty free tracks to choose from their massive library of 40,000 tracks. And now you can preview and download any of these songs. So if you're looking to level up your Pocket 3 footage, then click the first link in the description down below to get a free trial of Epidemic Sound and see just how easy it is to use their platform to level up your content. The crane shot. Moving on to another easy movement that will add massive production value to your Pocket 3 footage. Starting high and moving downwards, this technique is perfect for establishing shots and helps give more perspective to your location. Now, normally to achieve a movement like this, you would need a camera crane or arm, but using the Pocket 3, we can actually emulate this movement to great effect. First, for this type of movement, you want to swipe down from the top of the screen to bring up the control menu again, and then select the gimbal mode icon. Now you want to swipe across to change into the tilt locked mode, which will keep the horizon level, and this will help keep the shot steady as you do the movement. Now all you have to do is point the Pocket 3 towards your subject, press record and raise it up as high as you can before steadily and slowly lowering it down towards the ground. Now here's a pro tip. If you have a selfie stick, you can actually attach this to the bottom of the Pocket 3 using the handle with the 1/4-20 thread. And this will allow you to not only start with the camera higher, giving you this bird's eye view, but also increase the range of movement as you start to lower it down towards the ground. Just be really careful though if you're doing this to make sure the 2 pins on the side of the extension handle are fully locked in place on the Pocket 3. Sometimes only one of the pins latches, and if you don't realize this, the Pocket 3 could come loose, and if it detaches high in the air and falls, well, that could be a disaster. So always double check before raising it high in the air. Either way, this is another move that is super simple to do and always looks fantastic. Vertical crane shot. The vertical crane shot is one of my absolute favorites because it offers a perspective viewers have never seen before. To start, find a wall or subject that you can get the Pocket 3 close to. In this case, I'm using this tower. And then using the joystick on the Pocket 3, point the camera straight up, aligning it along the edge of your subject. Crouch down, hit record, and then slowly and smoothly start to stand up, raising the Pocket 3 up along the wall while staying as close to it as possible. Once fully stood up, continue to raise your arms above your head to maximize the movement. This type of clip works exceptionally well for capturing architecture and is definitely one you must try. Now, it's important to make sure you're using the correct settings with the Pocket 3. This includes setting the resolution to 4K to get the highest quality footage possible from this little camera, setting exposure compensation to -0.3 to prevent blown out highlights, reducing sharpness to -1 to get a more natural looking image, and lowering the gimbal rotation speed to slow to get smoother movements, just to name a few. If you would like a handy reminder of all the best settings you should use, then I recommend checking out my recently released DJI Pocket 3 cheat sheets. You can either print these out or download them to your smartphone so that you always have them with you and never forget the best settings to use. If you would like to find out more about these or pick them up, I will put a link in the description down below. The spin shot. Another super creative type of movement you can capture is the spin shot, where the camera rotates around while you are pushing forwards towards your subject. This results in creative footage by adding a dynamic, smooth rotational movement that enhances visual storytelling and provides a unique and engaging perspective. The best part is, using the Pocket 3, it's super easy to do. First, you want to tap the Smart Gimbal Mode button on the left side of the screen, and then select the third option down on the left to enter Spin Shot Mode. Here, you can choose between having the gimbal automatically rotate 90 degrees or 180 degrees, and I recommend choosing the latter option for the most movement. Then you want to hold the Pocket 3 horizontally and point it towards your subject before hitting record and tapping the rotation icon on the screen to start the gimbal automatically rotating around. As the gimbal starts to rotate, you want to slowly and smoothly start walking forwards, resulting in this incredibly creative and engaging clip that will spice up your finished sequences. Now just quickly, if you're getting value from this video, please let me know by giving me the thumbs up and clicking that like button down below. And if you love all things Pocket 3, but also action cameras, drones, gimbals and more, and want to learn about the best settings to get up and running quickly, and tips and tricks to help you get more cinematic videos and better looking images with your gear, then please consider clicking that subscribe button down below, and when you're down there, be sure to check the notification bell so that you will be alerted when my new videos are released. It would be greatly appreciated. The slider reveal. This is another type of clip that could work perfect for the opening of a sequence, as it starts with your subject hidden out of view before slowly revealing it to your viewer. First, you want to look around your location and find something in front of the subject you want to capture. In this case, I'm going to use this sign. And then you simply want to start with the camera behind the object, fully obscuring the view of your subject before sliding either left or right from behind it to reveal your subject, trying to keep the movement smooth and steady. Now, something that's absolutely crucial to do before you do this movement is to change the focus mode on the Pocket 3. Before doing this movement, you need to swipe from right to left in the screen to bring up the image and audio parameters menu, and then scroll down and enter the focus mode menu. For the focus mode, you want to change this to single, as this allows you to lock the focus to your subject so that it won't change as you do this movement. Let me give you an example. Here I am doing a slider reveal movement with the Pocket 3's focus mode set to continuous, which is the default out of the box. You can see that the focus is initially on the back of this sign, but once the subject comes into frame, you get this jarring and unprofessional jump as the focus changes to the subject. Not great. Instead, with the focus mode set to single, if you first point your camera at the subject and hit record, then the focus will now lock and not change as you move the camera around, meaning you can move the Pocket 3 back behind the sign and then do the slider reveal movement and not get that jarring focus shift as your subject is revealed, and this now looks much better. The fake drone. This one is perfect if you want to capture them higher perspectives but don't own a drone. Or maybe you're at a location where drones aren't allowed. Again, this makes use of a selfie stick and is nice and easy to do. With the selfie stick once again attached to the Pocket 3, you want to extend it out as long as possible. Hit record and then raise it high in the air. Now you don't want to just stand in one place, as this could result in a static shot with no movement and can look a little boring. Instead, I recommend walking forwards, or in this case backwards, to add a subtle movement along with capturing this higher perspective to make your clip more dynamic. As you walk, you want to keep the pace consistent and try to keep the selfie stick level. You don't want to let it start leaning to the side, as this could mean your subject will drift off center. And here's a pro tip. If you double tap on the screen over your subject to start tracking it before raising the Pocket 3 in the air, this will help make sure it stays centered as you do this movement, as the gimbal will automatically move to compensate for any unwanted movement you might be making when walking with the selfie stick high in the air. Also, if you're walking backwards, always remember to keep an eye over your shoulder to help make sure you don't bump into anything or trip, as again you don't want to fall with the Pocket 3 high in the air. Another fantastic little move, this one, and one that I find myself using time and time again. The tracking shot. Now this next clip is super handy if you are a solo filmmaker but want to capture yourself exploring different locations, as it allows you to essentially turn the Pocket 3 into a camera operator. First, you want to place the Pocket 3 down on a tripod, and this could be the mini tripod included in the Creator combo, or if you want a larger tripod, I recommend using this one from Ulanzi, and I will put a link to it in the description down below. Then you want to rotate the camera into selfie mode by triple pressing the joystick, as this allows you to see the screen while the camera is facing yourself to help frame the shot. Next, just double tap on yourself on the screen to start the camera tracking you, hit record, and then start walking around your landscape. As a top tip, I recommend moving in one single direction at a consistent pace, as this results in a nice smooth camera movement, such as in this case where I am walking from right to left in the scene. If you start walking in random directions, stopping or moving around at different speeds, the camera will be making lots of different movements to keep you centered, and this results in jerky movements and a scene that lacks purpose, which doesn't look very good. So when using tracking mode to capture yourself, always remember one single direction at a consistent pace and you will be blown away by the results. Cinematic orbit. Another one of my absolute favourites, as it allows you to show more of your environment in the background while keeping the attention on the subject itself in the foreground. And I am going to show you a trick to help make this move even easier, which will help especially if you are a beginner. Essentially, to do this move, all you have to do is hit record and walk around your subject in a circle at a steady pace while keeping an equal distance from it at all times. It also helps to do this on level ground to make it easier to do the move smoothly and also prevent elevation changes as you orbit around your subject. Now the trick here is to make sure you keep the subject centered in the frame during the entire movement, which can be tricky to nail, especially as a beginner. If you are struggling, here's a top tip. All you have to do is again double tap over your subject on the screen to enable tracking. And now as you walk around, it will automatically keep it centered, meaning you can put more focus and energy into walking smoothly. And this results in a much more professional looking shot. I always recommend capturing a clip like this at any location, as it always stands out in a sequence and looks phenomenal. Push forward, gimbal up. Alright, this move requires a bit more coordination, as we will be walking while tilting the gimbal at the same time from pointing towards the ground upwards towards the sky. Now this move is particularly effective for capturing architecture and tall buildings, creating the effect of your audience looking up to see the entire focal point. Firstly, you want to make sure you have the gimbal mode set to follow, as this will enable the tilt axis to follow the Pocket 3's movement as you tilt it upwards, and it also helps to set the gimbal rotation speed to slow, as this makes it easier to get smoother movement when moving the Pocket 3. Then start by tilting the camera slightly downward, hit record, and begin walking forward. As you do, gradually tilt the Pocket 3 backwards, raising the camera towards the sky as you approach your subject. Now it's crucial to avoid tilting the Pocket 3 too quickly, which could cause your subject to disappear from the frame, or too slowly, which could result in the top of your subject being cut off. Time it just right to achieve this unique shot that never fails to impress. Down low. This is another straightforward technique that harnesses the power of capturing a perspective your audience rarely sees, creating an impressive and intriguing clip. To do this, I first like to switch into selfie mode by triple pressing the joystick, as this allows us to still see the screen when the camera is down low. And then all you have to do is simply turn the Pocket 3 upside down and put it nice and close to the ground. Be careful though, as you want to make sure that the gimbal never actually touches the ground itself, as it's quite fragile and we don't want to damage it. Next, hit record and then start to slowly move the camera forwards towards your subject, or you can even move it backwards away from it. I recommend standing in one place and using your arm to do the movement, as trying to walk while holding the gimbal down low often results in shaky movements. Something else I recommend doing is, as you're moving your camera forwards towards your subject, try to have some foreground objects passing by the camera, as this adds depth to your scene. You can also get creative with this shot by using the joystick to adjust the tilt angle of the Pocket 3's camera. You could either have it level with the ground to pick out details of the ground itself, or have the camera tilted upwards slightly to give this completely unique perspective and make subjects look larger than they actually are. So there you have it. 10 different types of shots you can capture with the DJI Pocket 3. And these will help you create more varied, unique, and interesting video sequences. And if you use just a few of these the next time you're capturing a location, it will help massively improve your finished videos. Now, if you would like to see how to take your Pocket 3 B-roll from boring to creative, then here is a video I highly recommend watching by clicking up here, or by clicking the link in the description down below.